Hello, welcome to the Bearded Horror Review. My name is Dan, aka the Boogey Man, and on this show I'll watch a horror movie, either a classic or a new release, talk about some good points, talk about some bad points if there are any of either, give it a rating out of 10 if I remember to do it, and let you know if I think the film is worth a watch or not. And it is Thanksgiving 2024 over in the old US of America. And so I missed this when it came out. Thought, you know what? It's Thanksgiving. I'll watch Thanksgiving. So yeah, we're going to talk about Thanksgiving. Before we carry on, guys, if you can leave a like and subscribe, it's a little thing for you, but it's a big help to me. Really appreciate it. So yeah, Thanksgiving was a film that was made by Eli Roth that came out in 2023. I believe it was originally like a fake trailer that happened before the Grindhouse films, Death Proof and Planet Terror. There was a bunch of them that were like a bunch of fake trailers. One of them was Machete, which became like, two films there. Another one was this Thanksgiving, and eventually got made. And yeah, I finally watched it, and we're going to talk about it. Since this film is a year old now, I am going to do full spoilers, so here's your spoiler warning if you don't want to know anything about it, if you want to go and watch it. I got it for like £6 off Amazon, so, if you want to buy it and watch it, or, just watch it in whatever means you like. I don't know what streaming services it may be on in other countries. I don't really care.
Let's see.
So, Thanksgiving tells the tale of a group of teens who are all 25 who are being hunted by a man who is dressed up like a pilgrim. That's the word I was looking for. It's I suppose a specific person, but I'm not American, so I don't really remember what his name was supposed to be, and I don't need to know. So yeah. Good on America. Good for you. And yeah, so the plot is very, very simple. Start of the film, a group of teens manage to sneak into a superstore that is about to hold a Black Friday sale. Don't get me started on the irony of Thanksgiving and Black Friday. And so many people want to get into this store at midnight when it's going to open for their Black Friday sale, that basically they force their way into the store. When they see these teens inside, they force their way in, and it causes a lot of havoc and deaths.
Until what happened that night.
And one of the teens films all of this, and it's just pure chaos, which is, I assume, what happens every single Black Friday in America, so I don't know why it's a big deal in a film. But yeah, that happens. A lot of people die. A year later, Black Friday's coming up. I mean, Thanksgiving's coming up, but it's really kind of more focused on Black Friday. Like this whole Black Friday thing that happened, not really Thanksgiving, but the whole kills are based around Thanksgiving, but whatever. And someone is taking revenge on these teens and a couple of the people that were in the store, a couple of key characters, a couple of key people that were shopping because they wanted waffle irons. And yeah, so basically hack and slash. It's a slasher, man. They're getting chased. And this film was like a long time coming. Like I said, by Eli Roth, Cabin Fever, Hostel, The Bear Jew, in Inglourious Bastards, which is pretty damn good. But it's not a horror film, so I can't talk about it. That being said, I did not think this film was very good at all. Now, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just burnt out on this kind of horror film. But this film felt like it should have been made in 1999, and it's being made in 2023. It is a very old school, late 90s, early 2000s horror film. Kind of like I Know What You Did Last Summer's urban legend, that kind of vibe, where it was basically a bunch of 25-year-old teens being stalked for something that they apparently did wrong. I found the very revenge premise so super thin, and the twist was so obvious it was painful. Like I said, spoilers in this. There was some fun kills in this film, but they actually felt really tame compared to what I was led to believe was going to happen. The only thing that kind of got me was solely because I have stepped on nails and thorns and stuff. Whereas there's something like where there's a girl bouncing on a trampoline and the killer stabs through it. The film tries to be clever. They were not exactly necessarily the film itself, but the filmmakers. They tried to be clever when they were making this, because with it, when it ever comes to these slasher kind of films, it's always who is the killer and why are they taking revenge? Why have they targeted these young teens who are all 25? And why have they done that? And when we see the killer making these kills, every time we see them, they're a different size. Sometimes they're shorter, sometimes they're taller, stockier, thinner. And that gives you this whole thing of who is the killer. And that aspect, I thought that was really good kind of filmmaking. Outside of that, it's meh. It's just meh. The whole film, meh. There's not really anything to it. All our main characters got plot armor. The whole suspicion of who's the killer and why are they doing it. And this whole, ooh, there's a red herring over here and there's a red herring there kind of thing happening. It's, like I said, it's so 2000s that it's not even a mystery to me. It was just so obvious that all these people that you're getting like, this could be the killer, were not the killer. But yeah, I just found this film to be really bland and really boring. And the twist of surprise, it was the sheriff who was there all along.
Show some enthusiasm. Thanksgiving is an institution here.
He was there on the night where all this happened. And he is the one doing these murders, which is probably why the police can never catch him, because there's like 3 police officers in the entire town. It's just kind of, it was played out so much, and it's like, yeah, of course it's the guy who everyone doesn't suspect. It's the only one it could have been, and it's just bland, meh. And there's a lot of convenient things that happen to people, and yeah, I will give it this. Some of the effects were all right. Some of the effects were pretty good. I did find the kills laughable, some of them. There's one where a guy gets his neck broken and his head completely twisted around. First of all, no. And second of all, it's so cartoonish. I don't see how people can find that gory or anything. It genuinely was like I was watching a live action cartoon in parts with the effects. I don't see how people think that. And I've noticed something a lot with Eli Roth films is everyone's a complete asshole. So I don't really care at all about anybody in this film. Not one person. And I think it's starting to show that Eli Roth is no longer that young director, because he uses social media and is making a commentary on social media and how none of this would have happened if that teen hadn't have been filming this horrible thing that was happening. Rather than, the fact that there was no security at this venue, and that these people pushed their way through and rioted and caused deaths. One guy gets his throat cut on some jagged glass. No one cares about these people. A woman who was having an affair with our killer, was also pregnant by him, accidentally gets killed by getting run over by a trolley, and then part of her head pulled off from that trolley, and no one seems to notice. Or because people want to buy waffle irons. I get what you're saying. I get you trying to say these Black Friday things are a bit ridiculous, but they don't really happen that often. Since 2020, things like that don't really happen. They're all online, and I remember the crazy stuff that was happening with Black Friday deals when they started coming over here and in England, but they don't really happen anymore. And also, we had a film that did that called Black Friday. Pretty much that exact same premise, which is why I found it weird that it was about the Black Friday stuff rather than actual Thanksgiving, but it all took place around Thanksgiving. And we also get the very classic thing that a lot of these films did in the late 90s and early 2000s, of the villain monologuing his evil plan to the one person that survived rather than killing them, that he's been trying to kill all this time, and that's their undoing. And it kind of unveils them to the world. Because of social media. And it's just like, why are we still doing this? It's 2024. We're almost in 2025. This came out a year ago. And yeah, I get that it's kind of be like, oh, it's a throwback kind of thing. But it's not a throwback. It's just a carbon copy. There's nothing really original to it. And I was bored for a lot of it. Is this how American teens act? Watching this film, is this actually how American teens act? Because if so, they're all just awful people. And it's just so funny that this film, I I was like expecting something from Eli Roth, where actually I got a carbon copy from every other director from the 90s and noughties. And that's a shame. I like slashers. I want slashers, but in this day and age, you need to do more. And the effects, again, I said, like, they weren't that good. People banged on about the kills. They were so quick, and some of them were so just cartoonish that I just couldn't get by it. I don't understand. But yeah, happy Thanksgiving. I hope everyone's having a great Thanksgiving over in America. That being said, this Thanksgiving is going to get a 4 out of 10. That's all I can muster to give it. It's not something I'd rewatch willingly. It might be something I'd rewatch if I wanted to show someone it, or like, yeah, just chuck it on in the background or whatever. But it's not really worth the time, in my opinion. It's so meh that I think there's nothing worse a film can be than meh. Like, it wasn't entertaining to me in any way. Like, I was bored through all of it, and I sat through it to watch it. But if I can guess your killer after 10 minutes, and then I can sit through the kills and go, okay, on to the next one then, I guess, then you've done something wrong. You've not done your job. And I expect more from Eli Roth. But yeah, so that was Thanksgiving, guys. Let me know what you thought about the film down below. And make sure you leave a like and subscribe. And I hope you're having a great Thanksgiving in 2024. And until the next one, happy watching.